Hey, it's Jazz. Welcome to the Lyric Writer's Block. In today's video, I am making an indie pop song, and I had to interpret that in my own special way. So this song might end up sounding similar to something you've heard in the indie pop genre, or it's probably just going to be something completely different. Some indie pop artists that you may be familiar with are Lana Del Rey, MGMT, Florence and the Machine, 21 Pilots, The XX, Lorde, The Shins, Mumford & Sons, Tegan and Sara, Modest Mouse, and Sia. From these artists, I get the idea that indie pop is a genre or style that has some historical references or a vintage feel. From some of these artists, I've heard references to certain electronics, things like that, vintage, cameras, maybe video games. So those are some of like the items I think of when I think of these artists and the genre of indie pop. Then there's always some kind of a quirky side. So there's some personality that comes through in the music. However, some of the lyrics kind of don't always make complete sense to the listener. So you're wondering if it may be just really poetic, possibly. So the lyrics also tend to be a bit contemplative or referencing to things in the past in kind of a quirky, like, way. On top of that, I noticed that the indie pop genre and artists tend to have a kind of like a playful, childish side, whether that's a play on words or just referencing to things that are kind of childish, possibly. And then at the same time, the music is dark. At least it has like a dark or serious undertone, you know, when it's all said and done. So that's my take on indie pop. I would say this song is definitely more reflective of who I am as a songwriter, just using tools that I don't normally use in my own songwriting process, other than like Google to look up a word here and there. But usually I don't go hardcore with the online generators. It was definitely me taking an adventure on the internet, and I will do something like this again for sure. But until then, I have a song that I wrote heavily inspired by the idea of what indie pop is at the core. Enjoy! One more time. So appealing, I am not sure why. In this case, we feel great, find me brilliant.